Hey guys, Gary here today with an aggressive paladin deck tech called the Shockadin. So the Shockadin is basically like almost every other aggressive deck except for the extra mechanics you can have. Like with Hunter and Mage and all those, everyone has their own special cards. Of course, it's Hearthstone. But with the thing about the Shockadin is you're not really afraid of handlock and well, you were really afraid of Control Warrior, but that's another story. But the big issue I've been running into a lot is there's been a giant increase of handlock due to the Hunter decrease because Unleash the Hounds was nerfed. So handlock, this deck really has a good matchup against handlock due to equality and all the other things that you have here. So what you want to do in any normal game, you want to try to have a hand full of one drops, preferably Argent Squire or Leper Gnome. Worgen Infiltrator is great as well, but you also want to have a good curve. If you have all one drops, that's great to start out with, but you want something like Bluegill Warrior and Arcane Golem, or even True Silver Champion will help. You just want to go straight for face. Only trade if you absolutely have to. Like, if they have a taunt creature, of course, you're going to have to take care of that. But otherwise, you really want that face damage early so you can put them in a position where you're threatening Leroy Jenkins with Blessing of Might, or Leroy Jenkins and Avenging Wrath the turn afterwards, or something along those lines. You really want Divine Favor in this deck because you're going to throw everything out early. That, like, if you're holding cards back, obviously there's going to be some situations where you're playing against a mage or a rogue. I really want to say assassin when I say rogue, but or even a warrior, because Fan of Knives is real. Fan of Knives destroys your deck. Whirlwind destroys your deck, and mages just ping your creatures for free with their ability, and it's just really hard to play around that. But if you can bait it out, if you can play three creatures or two creatures and bait out their Fan of Knives or bait out their Whirlwinds, and then you can just drop everything later, that'd be perfect. Like Arcane Golem, some people don't like Arcane Golem because it gives your opponent an extra mana crystal, but it doesn't seem to be a problem as much. I seem to, when I play Arcane Golem, it seems to have no really big effect, and if it does, it makes them play cocky, like, oh, I can play this Karn Bloodhoof now, when they really need to heal or when they really need to drop like a Tazdingo or something. Maybe they don't have it, but usually they want to use all of their mana, and it causes them to misplay a lot. So yeah, I really like Arcane Golem. If you don't like Arcane Golem, you can replace it with Wolf Rider, and it's just fine. The only big difference is it's one extra damage and one extra health, but the extra health helps a ton versus Whirlwind, Fan of Knives, Mages, etc., etc. Oh, and Unleash the Hounds, which I hate still. It still exists. Not seen much, but it still exists. Consecration is self-explanatory, comboed with Equality, and it's just a great combo. Consecration comes in handy versus Zoolock and other rush decks, which you're going to see a lot of. Equality, like I mentioned before, takes care of handlock, and you're not really afraid of those giants. When you're fighting handlock, you can't be afraid of putting them below 10. They drop Double Mountain Giant, that's okay. Maybe you don't have Equality in hand, maybe you want to hold back at that point, that's understandable too. But you really, overall, you're not afraid of handlock due to Equality and Consecration, or Equality Avenging Wrath. So you just want to go straight forward. This deck is just pure face. Trade when you have to, but play smart around the removal because everything does have one health. And but overall, I've played it, and I'd say I have, when ladder climbing from rank 5 to 3, I'd say I have like a 60% win rate. And I mean, I love Paladin, I love the deck. So, I mean, give it a shot. If you have any questions about replacement cards, like for Avenging Wrath or Leroy Jenkins, go ahead and shoot me a message and I can help you with that deck tech. But otherwise, yeah, try to build this, or not build it, try it out for yourself. But if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching.